Finally, hello everyone, and welcome to the Nerd On Update, where we talk about our favorite nerdy things and then take questions from you, the people.
The people.
Oh, hi.
I'm the Azorian one, Anthony Steves of the Capeless Crusaders.
He's already messed it up.
We don't normally introduce ourselves on this
It's
show,
all
but
good.
that's quite all right.
And who are you guys?
Well, we're
I
judges.
guess this week is actually kind of an oddity because I'm here.
Yeah!
And
Yeah, we have
Steve's
four
is here,
hosts.
and Josh is here,
Yeah.
and Tom is here. It's like a whole brand new world.
It's like the
This
Brady
was
Bunch.
your interview. This was your shadowing, your probational interview with Steve.
Okay,
and
cool.
Nice.
Yeah?
We'll talk about this in your review. We'll talk about this.
Great.
In your review.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a
Who do you
wild
want to share their news, Steves?
Let's see. I'm going to go
First.
first with, she's here this week. Let's go with Caitlin.
All right. Hey, everyone.
Hey, look.
So this technically happened about exactly a week ago. CrunchyRoll and Funimation are now one. There is a company merger. CrunchyRoll has monopolized anime, essentially.
Wow.
Funimation and its, I believe, subsidiary Wakanim is going to be all rolling into CrunchyRoll. So that means a lot of things. There's going to be probably the biggest season, like the spring season of anime is going to probably be the biggest drop on one place ever.
All the anime.
All the anime is going to come
All of it.
pouring out onto CrunchyRoll. But also for people
Just sopping wet.
like me
Moist.
that have an annual subscription to Funimation. Of course, we're wondering, oh my God, wait, what? Where does my
One
Funimation subscription go? Because now it's supposed to be over on CrunchyRoll. What do we do? So I did some research. You're supposed to, for annual subscribers, you're actually supposed to email. There's a place to go on Crunchyroll's website. Email them, let them know that you have an annual subscription. Let them know the email that you used for your Crunchyroll account, the email you used for your Funimation account, and then who knows what's going to happen from there. I haven't figured that out yet. I have like a really old price that I was locked into on Funimation.
Hell
So I'm
yeah. grandfather.
hoping I get that back.
You were
But that
grandmothered
kind
in.
of remains to be seen, hopefully so. But it's weird. It's weird that they're coming together in this way. And I don't know a whole lot about the business dealings. It's kind of been hinted at that they were working together here and there over the years, but it always seemed to be like, no, we're going to be really separate. Funny crunch. It's strange to see anime so monopolized when there's not really any other contenders now. Like,
And then isn't Sony
I mean,
above
I think
that? So it's like,
yeah,
Sony's
Sony was Funimation. So, and I don't remember if Sony is also Crunchyroll.
Warner Brothers had Crunchyroll, and so Time Warner. But then the only thing I think about, the only shark in the ocean at this point is Netflix, because they have like their own.
They
deals
do,
with,
yeah.
with
I know
animation.
that Komi Can't Communicate was like a one that I've been watching that I really love, and I know there are several others that they have, and original animation and stuff like that as well. So the streaming wars are as hot as ever, but now the Crunchyroll Funimation merger, that's a big bold statement for both anime and also the acting world.
Yeah.
A conversation that happened immediately after of Funimation and Crunchyroll merging together is all the actors are going, whoa, okay, well, it'd be great if all of these dubs can then be unionized, because most of the time anime is non-union, because you can get booked to be a lead in an anime, make maybe $2,000 to $3,000, and then never see another cent ever again. Like, you won't make any more money on it ever. There are ways that people make money by going to conventions and whatnot, but that's kind of like it. So the union stuff at least goes towards your pension and health and that kind of thing. But it's really, really complicated. All of that stuff is super complicated, especially because it's a dub. Like, it's not us making the original product. It's them going, okay, you're the foreign language dub that we're slapping over top of our finished product. So it's a lot harder for us to be like, we want this thing to happen, make it happen.
Yeah, because the rates are so I've seen people that were even, because I saw that conversation too. Some of my friends who have had leads and stuff, they get paid so little. Is kind of, and there's the variables of rates. There's no standard too when it's non-union.
Right. But that's really difficult when it's all up to the client, and that's like no shade on the clients whatsoever. That's their finished product, and however they want to deal with that is however they want to deal with that.
Yeah.
And doing things union wise, that's the union. Anytime there's like a union conversation, it's basically like getting into the politics of acting, and it can get really convoluted and messy really, really fast, especially when there's international business dealings going on, which is exactly what this situation is. So it always gets messy and people get upset and hurt, or righteous or those kind of things. So, yeah, it's a lot, but I'm excited to see where we go from here, because anime is now very, very mainstream. So how we're hitting, or probably already have hit, a saturation point. Before, it used to be almost impossible to get a hold of anime. Like, you had to be part of a club. Someone had to have an imported DVD. Like, maybe there was an English dub. And that
Tom
was
has
what,
told
like,
me the horror stories.
oh yeah. I mean, that was hard. And that was like 10 years ago, right? So it's come a long way in a very short amount of time. And for something as big as Funimation and CrunchyRoll rolling into each other, just makes you wonder where we're going to go from here. But guess we don't know yet. Early stages and all that.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to popcorn to Tom.
For
It's
me,
Tom.
so you know what it is, y'all.
Yo, what it is.
You know what it is.
I know what's
It's,
happening.
What it is.
This is DC boy in here. So I'm talking about the only thing I know to talk about.
What's that?
It's Batman.
Yeah, vengeance.
So the Batman came out, right? This weekend. No spoilers.
I heard about it.
Everyone listening, don't worry. I will not talk about any spoilers. But let's just talk about some facts, some numbers. I think when it debuted out, it came out at like a 94% Rotten Tomatoes, which, you know, it gets all the audience members pretty excited about. I could give less of a shit about. It now sits at, I think, at 85% for critics and 90% for audience.
Bingo.
It made, I think, 123 million domestically over the weekend, which is actually the second highest during the pandemic, right behind Spider-Man: No Way Home. And I think it overall worldwide is 242 million for the weekend, which is the largest for any Batman opening weekend film. So it's a really big deal. Movies are coming back again. This phrase of movies coming back is always going to be in, I think, a lexicon for the next, at least 2 to 3 years of just like, is it truly back? Are we seeing it? There are still restrictions in terms of like, wearing masks and, people still finding, I think, valid reasons to not go back to the theaters. It's just interesting to see where the numbers lie at the end of it all. You could talk about either the film being 3 hours long, the actors and how they portrayed certain characters, or just the financial things of why the Batman performed. And I believe Matt Reeves has said that there is a sequel in development. I don't know if that means it's greenlit or anything like that, but where it ends off, it's not like a cliffhanger or spoilery thing, but it's like, well, you could see that this Batman has a road ahead of him. That being said, something else kind of has come up in the news of the Batman, and it's one that makes me just want to eye roll my eyes fast enough where I could rewind time.
What is it?
You can't roll them enough. They're just like,
yeah, it's the word I hate the most, which it used to be a good thing, and now for some reason, the way that lexicon, zeitgeist, nomenclature, whatever you want to call it, has turned it into a bad word. Batman too woke, right?
that's a thing.
It's That's the thing. That's a thing. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to say anything that happens in the film. But certain people have had videos become viral now because they go they watch the film and they go into their car and then they rant about, Commissioner Gordon's black and Selena Kyle's not white and da 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 da, all this stuff, right? And some people are, throwing their flags in one direction saying like yes, other people are saying no, some people are parroting it. I think, God, it's such a dumb thing.
It's literally not the first time Catwoman's been black.
I have a solution for this.
Unplug the internet for everyone for like 2 days.
No.
What does it get?
No. Just don't fucking talk about it if you don't like it. Find the thing you do like and watch that instead.
There it is.
It's kind of like
the thing you like instead.
The pillars of what Nerd On is built on.
No way.
So there's just that kind of stuff, and I think as we hear more and more about the Batman, we'll hear more and more people kind of picking sides here and there. And I think it's just kind
bullshit. You mean? Sorry. Yeah. That just like spewed out of my body.
Allergies.
Yeah, I sneezed.
So there's that kind of controversy. I think there is cool things that happen in the film that they do kind of ask those 21st century kind of questions that the Batman in the 60s or even in the 80s doesn't ask those questions. I think that's pretty fun and cool.
What, did you charge his iPhone? Questions like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying not to be any spoiler at all. Some people haven't got a chance to watch it. Some people won't go to the theaters to watch it, and I completely find that totally fine and agreeable. So I'll do my best to not spoil anything. But I think it's just interesting. So I would say stay away from the internet and stay away from the hashtags of the Batman, just so that you can stay away, because people are terrible and they'll just spoil everything and give you all these plot points and plot lines that are actually huge and important. But no, that's all I'm going to say about the Batman. It's doing well on a business standpoint. How it goes into the culture and the zeitgeist of what Batman is, we'll let time tell. Let time tell. So, how about Josh?
Hey, it's me. It's me.
Hey, Josh.
And an accidental joke I'll make with my news. The franchise that refuses to die, The Walking Dead.
Yes.
It was an accident. No, they announced a spin-off series today that I'm actually excited about.
What is it called?
Isle of the Dead, and it is a Maggie and Negan series.
So it's Dead Island? The game?
No,
That's Rash.
no. They're on
But
Manhattan.
with Negan?
And Negan's
Manhattan's
there.
the island.
Manhattan's the island.
Oh.
I do. I do like the idea of pairing those two together because he's the one who took the.
Who did the
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I'm saying. I was like,
Yeah.
So
So
I'm
it's-
gonna have a.
So it's Dead Island 2.
Yeah. The series. Fully
Right.
loaded. Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's I'm
Negan's
excited about it
alive?
because Negan's one of my favorite villains in comics and TV, and I just think Jeffrey Dean Morgan does a wonderful job.
He's phenomenal.
He's phenomenal, and
He needs to be Thomas Wayne again.
oh my goodness, yeah, I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Steve is putting up a little pop Funko head of Negan for those audio listeners.
So yeah, I am excited about that because I love their pairing. I'm not up to date. Like I haven't watched the recent season, but like the season before, anytime they were in a scene together, I'm like, ooh, the tension. I just because I mean, the backstory. I think everybody by now knows the backstory. So,
Hit him.
yeah,
Hit him.
it was
backstory?
hardcore. The backstory? Do you want me to tell you?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
No.
It involves that
he
barbed wire
involves
bat.
the bat that he's talking about and
Yeah.
Not
Maggie's
Batman.
husband's head.
No.
So Caitlin, you're gonna have a whole show where you're on an island with someone who bopped you.
I'm like actually
head.
by
And you
by
saw
this
it.
point.
You watched it all happen.
I'm really sorry if that's a spoiler for people. By this point, that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's
And in
been
the
a while.
comics, it was probably 10 more years ago. I apologize if I spoiled that for people. I remember my internet, at least my feeds, blowing the F up. And when
Reaction
people that
videos.
hadn't seen comics, or haven't read the comics, I was like, oh honey. Oh honey. Oh honey. I think it was issue 100 too.
and
or something like
Maggie
that.
saw all of it, Caitlin. She was there watching it all
So it's going to
happen.
be them on an island together?
Yeah.
with the dead Hiccup.
Is that a FERP?
No, it was a hiccup.
Okay.
This sounds like makes me sound like I'm 8 years old. I ate too many hot dogs too fast for dinner.
Did you have a hot dog bowl?
With the gravy.
I
with the
had
gravy and
spaghetti.
the drink.
I had some like pasta, but I was like, I'm still a little hungry, so
Hot dog.
I had some hot dogs.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I ate them
love
really
it.
fast.
But that
We got them
is
for the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
that is my news. Steve's. It is now on to you.
Oh,
Don't yell too loud
Well.
because it's actually blaring out the mic.
I'm sorry. I'm good.
Also, just know that we have another part of the show after this. So
Oh, yeah.
I got it. No worries.
I know you like to weave stories.
It's true. I'm only sticking with one thing here, and that was that Sunday, March 6th, was the wrestling extravaganza of AEW Revolution, their pay-per-view event that took place. And for those of you who are wrestling fans, if you remember ECW or the WWE's Attitude Era when everything was TV 14 and there was blood and there was violence.
Hell yeah.
That's what this was. There were at
Oh.
least 4 matches that featured the bleeding of the faces.
The bleeding of the face.
The bleeding of the faces. It was fantastic. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, the women's champion, defended her title and successfully defended her title against Thunder Rosa. We had, let's see, the AEW heavyweight champion Adam Page successfully defending his title against Adam Cole, formerly of WWE, now with AEW.
Nice.
And there was an amazing tag match of Sting. Yes, that Sting.
Really?
62-year-old Sting
Hell yeah.
in the rafters, jumping off the rafters through 3 tables.
And he broke all of his bones.
No, he walked away.
Like Fade
Yeah.
Rotha from Dune movie.
It was beautiful the way he did it. He got up like it was nothing. And one of the biggest matches of the night was the shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Thor.
Mr.
Oh.
Close. He did write a Thor comic.
Those are that's a hand with arrows.
He did write a Thor comic.
Oh, I see. It looks like a hammer.
CM Punk challenged MJF to a dog collar match. What that means is you and your opponent are tied together with 1 steel chain and 2 dog collars.
Why have I never heard of this before?
It was CM Punk's idea. Anything goes. It's a regular pin match, but there's no rules. So there was the chain being used as a whip. There was bruising.
Wow.
CM Punk looked like Passion of the Christ. That's how much blood was on his face. And they brought out the thumbtacks. Yes. Thumbtacks were spilled onto the ring. There were suplexes. These guys are bare-chested, bare-backed, okay? So suplexes falling on. CM Punk, of course, victorious in that match, getting revenge against MJF. And it was just beautiful violence. It was beautiful violence. That's my fantastic news.
You want to know what cracks me up about wrestling is I hear things like that and I'm like, but did they kiss?
I was
Like
going to say, if anything goes, can
Lady
someone
and the
pee on
Tramp.
someone?
I'm trying to think. There was, well, I think
Because
the girls. might
I
have.
think
The
the
girls might
most heartbreaking moment in wrestling history for me was the Festival of Friendship with Jericho and oh my God, why can't I remember his name?
have. Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Yes.
They were having the Festival of Friendship. Everything was beautiful, and then he looks at the list and his name was on it.
Why is
He's
my
like,
name on this
Why's
list?
my name on this list? And I was like,
You saw
I
Owens'
wanted
face.
them to have like a very passionate hand-holding experience.
Nope. Violence instead.
And violence
Friendship
instead.
broken. Mhm. By the way, Jericho
Wrestling
wrestled last night.
Pulsian just slaps
Jericho
me.
wrestled
Caitlin's
last
the one
night.
in the audience that they hear in the background. Kiss him!
Yes, correct.
By the way, Jericho opened the pay-per-view against Eddie Kingston.
Uh-huh.
His theme music is Judas, which his band performs, Fozzy.
Yeah.
The whole crowd sings his song every time he comes out. Like all of them are singing it. Like literally they lower the music and the crowd is still singing Jericho's music. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
but
that
yes,
sounds right.
AEW Revolution was phenomenal. A beautiful, beautiful onslaught of bloody violence.
I can't believe a vein pops out of my head when you said explain the dog collar match.
Explain.
I'll send you clips. I'll send you clips.
Please do.
And Sting flying off the rafter. Yes.
Yeah, that is cool. That's cool.
He's still doing it.
Too. That's also cool.
He's still doing it.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Next part
Moving
of the
on.
show.
Yeah,
part of
sorry,
the
the show.
Next part of the show is in which we answer questions from you, the people. And if you would like to
People.
submit questions, there are so many ways that you can go to nerdon.tv/questions, and all of the ways are there. My favorite way is to join the Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord, and there are channels within there that you can submit questions. But if you would like to support us and get lots of cool prizes like boner episodes, join the Nerd On Nation powered by
Josh, you
Patreon.
said the wrong word.
Did I though?
That was the right word.
But did I?
Oh.
Learning.
No, it was the wrong one.
I have been trained. Nerdon.tv/Patreon. And it's how we keep the lights on. It's how we do all these things. And you get a Nerd On Nudge where we answer your questions first. And you can answer anything like Jeremy M. Shout out. Nice to see you in the Discord again. Piggybacking off of Spencer 13H's awesome cue. If you were to invent a mixed drink or beer bearing your name, what would be in it? What kind of drink would it be?
Oh.
And this is from last week's episode. We made our own restaurants, and we had our own menu of what we'd have in there. So to add to that, mixed drink or beer bearing your name.
If we so it's a drink that was created in our name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That one's. I feel like that's hard to answer. Ooh.
Oh my God.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what I'd be as a drink. Probably some kind of mixed drink. I feel like I'm a cacophony of flavors. That's more for like audio referential, but it does track. Something zippy, but has a mellow like finish at the
Chill.
end.
Chill.
Maybe something fresh,
Maybe
like
the dog
some
collar.
orange.
I think I got mine.
Tom, go.
Mine would be a mix of taro and Oreo and boba, and then it could be added with anything. So you can have it as a nice cold drink, and then you could spike it if you wanted to have some, little spice in your life. Add some little maybe some Mr. Black, some coffee
wasabi
liqueur in there. You know what I'm saying?
Wasabi.
I've been watching a lot of How to Drink lately because I've been building my bar cart at my new place, and I'm just like,
Oh, that's right. You have a bar
He
cart.
asked me
do
what
this.
kind of
And-
mocktail ingredients I wanted. I was like, oh.
Aw.
And you know what? I say actually screw that because I found actually a website that has really good spirits that are non-alcoholic. And I was like, oh shit, this is
For a
next
second,
level.
I thought you were like, fuck your choice to not drink.
No. Because
That's what I thought.
There's definitely cool things you could do with like ginger beers and stuff like that. But I was just
Yeah.
like, they're literally like, there's companies that literally built this and found the power of distilling, but not fermenting. And fermenting is where the alcohol comes in. So like, if you just get the right proper distilling, then you can get like actual spirits with the actual infused flavors. I was like,
Yeah, there are some
This is
companies
it.
out there I've seen on my Instagrams that make non-alcoholic like whiskeys and vodkas and stuff like that still have. And what I've been seeing is people are like, oh, they still taste like those things, because you get mocktails and you're like, great, it's cool. So I'm drinking an orange juice. Great.
yeah, exactly.
I just drank a glass
yeah.
of orange juice. Is that a
And-
screwdriver? A
No,
virgin
and that's the thing
screwdriver?
where I felt like certain mocktails were kind of just insulting people's intelligence. And I was
Yeah.
just like, let me get a good one. Let me find some cool ones.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Cubans.
You know what I'm saying? Some sexy ones. Some ones you get, a little spicy with. Some a little sexy time with. You put on the music. You get the
I appreciate
lit dim
you,
lights.
Tom. I appreciate
You know
you
what
so
I'm
much.
saying? Everyone enjoys. Everyone gets to play in Tom's
Listen.
Tomtopia.
I need to continue to give Tom like so much praise because I'm leaving for a couple of weeks, and Tom was like, and Corey had like a
spawn.
baby,
A minor event.
minor
Spawn.
event in their life,
big deal.
and he stepped up and he's like, I will control this for you. So I'll be editing in France, which is fun, but he is running the stream and making sure everything happens, and I
That's our boy.
appreciate that.
All grown up.
He's my boy. I love him.
I will have the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes, the Infantate.
The Million Gauntlet. Sorry.
I mean, for me, I jumped to like a fruity drink, sweet, maybe with something strong. Like, oh yeah, like like a Long
You're gonna
Island
say-
iced tea. You're like, oh
Okay.
man, this is delicious. This is gross. I mean, this is delicious, and then 2 hours later, you're just like knocked out. There's so much in it. I would want like a fruity drink that's just like so strong that you're like, oh yeah, this is really good, and then you're like, wait, how many of these? How many is it per head? You drank half. It's cool.
Oh my god.
Just have
So a Disneyland Dole Whip.
Yes.
I know Mr. Steves loves his pineapple. He'd rather
I
have
do.
cheese and pepperoni on pineapple than actually have a pizza.
yes. Yes.
Heathen.
The beverage would be a pineapple coconut mix with some sort of rum in there, and it would just be called Azorian Delight.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey,
Nice.
Steves, can you give me that Azorian Delight?
you got it, baby.
I
I'll keep it island for you.
Oh.
I really don't know what my drink would be. This is like truly a challenge.
I feel like yours would be like something with like tea based.
A tea-based alcoholic drink
Yeah.
Matcha.
that has
Green tea,
no. I feel like it'd be a black tea.
a black tea. Okay.
A black tea
like the
with some
band.
kind of
Hot toddy-ish. Not completely, obviously, but like,
but with some kind of fruit as well.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you get all warm and cozy to drink.
Yeah,
That's what you strike me
but
as.
cinnamon in it, so it's like whoa, whoa.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah, like some Fireball black tea
Holy shit.
Ooh. Damn, here she goes.
and
I like shit.
orange
Yep.
I don't know what I'm gonna have.
and orange and apple, maybe
Ooh.
some
And an umbrella.
combination of that.
A
Yeah.
black umbrella.
Nice.
You gotta find the right portions for that. for
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those
yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
all
They'd
of
be
that.
very specific, but
Caitlin's just meh.
You can't just 1
You
ounce,
know-
1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce. Like no.
no. Oh God, no. You gotta be careful. You know,
Be
gotta be delicate.
careful.
You gotta,
I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I have a nice little jigger now, and I'm like, ooh, this is nice.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Wow.
Next
Next question.
Yeah.
It's a hard word. Mamba. Mamba asks, even though Mamba tends to give Caitlin a lot of guff and aggravation,
Uh-oh.
there's a
Uh-oh.
mutual respect and appreciation for Caitlin. What was the one appreciated moment that you have had with each other that most people do not know about? Aww.
Hmm.
I like Caitlin hugs.
Oh.
I miss
I've never felt a Caitlin hug.
Oh yeah.
I miss the in studio just like, oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
It's good to see
doesn't
you.
I
work
give.
that way.
I know I give good hugs. I've heard.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told.
It's a good hug. I like Caitlin hugs.
hmm
Our stream when you were ruining one of my shirts.
Well, that was for Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting behind Josh, and you know how there's like a thread on or a seam on the shoulder. I kept like rolling
Twiddling
it into itself, and then unrolling it because that was like my nervous reaction because I was scared. So I kept like rolling the seam and unrolling the seam, and so it was all like crinkled when I was done.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll share one with the Steves. Obviously we have to share one with everybody. I'll share one that I have with the Steves. And it's not like a specific moment, but I'll say it was a specific project that we worked on. And that like I don't know if I would say that we're done with it. I would just say that it's not being currently worked on. And it was something that we were working on for like 3 years.
Mhm.
And over the course of this 3 years, we had a lot of phone calls, and it was tough. It was like, okay, it was his idea, and then he brought me in to try to like see if I can do anything with it or what I thought about it, and then we just started working on it together, and then it became like part of conversations, and people were wanting to look at it and read it and potentially do stuff with it, and then it like really got into like, oh, we got to start putting some wood into this fire, and we worked on so much kit I want to say it like we worked on a kit for it, and there was a lot of phone calls. There was a lot of late night phone calls, and it would just be a text message like, when can you call? When can you talk? Like, let's do FaceTime. And it was one of those like, oh man, we're in the bunker. We're in the bunker together. And that was something that I really appreciate. I always appreciate a season because there's a level of yeah, man, let's do it. Let's just fucking do it. But there was this level of like, oh, we got something, and let's hold on to it, and let's chase this thing together, which was really fun. It was really cool. I liked it. And it allows me to feel like
We created a world.
Yeah, I trust you with my intimate, deep stories and stuff like that because you trust me with yours.
No.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom and I go for walks. That's one thing that
Aw.
we don't ever
Nice.
talk about. Like we went on one yesterday, and we'll just walk around my neighborhood. I have no idea. It's usually like 2 or 3 miles or something like that. And we just talk. And it's not even about business. Sometimes it is, but it's just like life stuff. Just like doing that. And it's like a nice, like, yeah, it's good. I like it.
Tom mentioned the one between he and I, so there's that. And I do have kind of small ones between both Josh and Caitlin here. Josh, you and I have just had random texts before in the past about acting. Back in our high school and college days. So like bouncing that back and forth with you has been something like, oh, here's someone
Was that
else's
the
in my...
60s for you, Steve?
Yeah, it was the 60s. Yeah. I tried
It was the
for,
40s
West Side
for
Story.
me,
It
so,
didn't work out.
Wow.
Oh, my back hurts.
But what an age to be in theater, right? The 40s to the
Right?
60s. I
Right?
mean,
Come
come on.
Then Caitlin, I think it was one of our first times where we had a crossover between Nerd On and the Crusaders.
Mm.
And it's where I found out that Caitlin had wrestling knowledge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm so used to being around dudes who know the wrestling stuff. So when Caitlin was like spitting out names of current people, I did one of these like, you didn't see me, it was audio, but I was like, she knows. She knows the ways.
I
was
do.
like, all right. There's
She
a new
speak the
wrestling
true.
friend.
Yeah.
She speak the true.
I like tripped and fell into wrestling by accident, kind of. And then
And I thank you for doing that.
you never saw the singular episode that I made of my mock wrestling commentator show called Next and XT Next.
Oh my God. I need to see this.
I don't want to tell you where it is, but you
Why?
can find it if you want.
I want
find
I
it
will
if
do
you
that.
want
It's
to.
really
I'm
dumb.
going to. I'm so excited right now.
Yeah. I think my kind of my moment that is like most precious to me that I had, it happened really early, but it was when we had one of our first like big Nerd On meetings, and we were all spitting out ideas and talking about things and stuff, and I'm used to being talked over. I'm used to just shutting up and not talking.
What are you talking about?
anymore.
I'm kidding.
Shut the fuck up, Tom. They've trained me now. But I remember I started to talk about something, and then they went off on a side tangent, so I just got quiet because I was so used to that happening that's what I did. And I don't remember who did it because everyone kind of did it all at once. And they're like, oh, no, sorry, Caitlin, you were talking. Go ahead. And there was just this moment of silence where I was like, oh, they actually want to hear what I'm saying. Like, they actually want to hear my ideas and like work with me on it. And like, this is actually going to be a collaborative effort.
That's awesome.
So that was that was the beginning of a lot of growth on a very personal level because, of course, I've a lot of things have happened since then too. So that was what 4 years ago,
Like 4.5.
4.5 years ago.
Uh,
Yeah, I know. Time goes quick.
So,
It's crazy what happens when the bare minimum is so low.
What?
As in, like, to me, it's like just treating people
What?
normally with respect is like quote unquote a high bar, and it's like because the experiences we've had before just treat us so terribly. And it's like, oh, that's the normal. It's like, no, it's not. That's shit. I have. I'll share a quick fire my two with Josh. One. Pretty recently, I think. I don't think recently, and this is kind of an amalgamation. Sometimes Josh and I have walks, but sometimes we have phone talks, and then we just
They're curling the cord on their bed while they talk to each other. Yeah,
that's what I'm envisioning right now.
yeah. You're
On the
correct.
bed, feet in the air.
It's on the bed, belly
Yes.
on the bed, feet in the air, that kind of thing, and then like waiting for the phone call. But it's one of those like where we're just like, oh shit, are we gonna get it all done? We get it all done. But I'm like, hey baby, it's the most virtual moment of Steve Rogers hitting Bucky's back. Like, we're gonna go get killed by a billionaire, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we are. that moment. And I think Caitlin, I'll just use this one. It's not like the most or the first, but it's the most recent, I think. It was probably a little bit after holiday break, and I had gone to the hospital and had a lot of health issues in my life. And Caitlin was just kind of there. It's like, let's go for a walk. And we are both kind of talking about like the new things that are happening in our lives and stuff like that. And it was nice. It was very unexpected. But it was one of those moments where it was just like, there's always been a kindred spirit I've had with Caitlin in the sense of like, oh, someone who I can relate to because they also burned themselves into the ground. And you know, there is a nice sense of like, oh, okay, yeah, I intellectually understand you at that point, or even just emotionally understand you at that point. And so when we had that conversation, that hangout, it was just like, yeah, you kind of get where I'm coming from this way. And it's not like, you know, everyone else, other hosts of the Nerd On we don't relate in certain ways. It was just one of those like, okay, yeah. Obviously Caitlin and my journey is different, and we're learning in different ways, and we're walking different paths, but
that's everybody.
It was nice.
Next,
I'm done.
next and close to last question.
Yes.
B-Rad, shout out. Which game do you think has the best licensed music on its soundtrack? I was playing SSX3 as a throwback today, and man, the music is as awesome as it is varied. I feel like there's only one right answer, and it's
Final Fantasy X.
I mean, yes, there you go.
That's why I said it, because it is the right answer.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Boom.
So, I mean,
Boom.
thank you everybody for listening to the Nerd. No. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
It's a very good one.
It's a very
It
good.
is good.
It's a very good. I know that it's cliche, but it's just like when I think back of listening, like the music just hit hard. And anytime I hear just a song out of context, like on the radio or something, I'm like, Tony Hawk. I remember that.
What say you, Estevs?
Oh, mine's
What-
a D. Back in my day.
The Aladdin game.
You ready? Super Nintendo. Ready?
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, the video game.
Oh God.
But it was not John Williams' score. No, it
What?
was
The
a
music
total.
one?
It was a mix of like, it was like jungle score and hip hop beat.
Was that the like pixelated Jurassic Park where you had to get the key cards in the building?
Yes. Yes, the
She
bird's eye
knows.
view. You're done
She's
Yeah,
speaking.
speaking
yeah.
the true
And the
again.
fucking raptors.
Caitlin, stock going up. Yes, that's the one. That's
Oh
the
my
one. When
God.
you had to
It
take
did
key
have
cards.
really-
It
It
was
did
the
have great
hardest
music.
game. It was the
really
hardest game.
I never got very far in it because I played it when I was like 8.
I beat it one time, and that was the only time I ever beat it because you couldn't
Yeah.
save anything either. You couldn't save the game. You had to do it on one sitting.
That's right. That's why we never got that far, because we could never save.
Exactly. But that music,
Yeah, it was
different parts of
good.
the island had different music. It was amazing.
That's
One of
what
my favorite
made
video
it,
games of all
like,
time.
That's what made it tolerable to keep playing, was the music.
Yeah. Then you hear the T-Rex coming.
Oh, fuck that.
The
no.
stomping.
So this is only for licensed music. If it was gonna be soundtrack, and I was always gonna have this as a backup, but I'll use this one that actually answers this question. Life is Strange.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I think the Life is Strange soundtrack is really nice. I actually listen to it at work at times, and it's just like, to me, that like that's kind of like my favorite kind of music to play during cinematic moments is acoustic guitar that's like kind of emotional, and it feels like you can play in a montage, or it could be played during like a walking sequence, something like that, where it's like it feels like movement is happening. Oh my god. Sorry, I just saw the chat that someone said that Brad Reprint said Life is Strange. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I didn't even see that. I was like, oh, Life is Strange in my mind.
Well, it's I always talk about the use of music in anything really, video games, film. Like, I mean, the list would be ample if we were going to talk about like original score, but like using licensed music, like a recent one even for me would be Back 4 Blood. There's a level that has a jukebox in it that like Ace of Spades comes on and you're killing a horde of zombies and you're like, fuck yes.
Ace of Spades.
This is so fun. Like, it's just like the use of music, like especially licensed known music, you're like, it can be tricky. And so like, yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
That's what that question was licensed music.
Oops.
Not just the best music, which is Final Fantasy X.
No,
But it does. I feel like there is a song on there that I remember was on my like get pumped playlist for a while, but I don't know. I've got
Return to Xanarkand.
Maybe
It's a rager. Not at all. It's not that. That's the sad one.
So it is that. No, just kidding.
Like elliptical crying.
No, it's that hardcore, like almost metal one for the first soccer game. Like, I remember
when
hearing
fighting
that.
Sin.
Huh?
When like Sin shows up and ruins the soccer game, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's the apocalypse!"
But it's this song. It's like it's just like crazy. I can't even.
It's great.
Yeah, it's good. I like
one of the Madden games too. Madden NFL. They had some good licensed music in there. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
We spent quite a while on. Wait,
One more question.
One more question. Let's do one more question. Hey, Tom.
One more question.
Hey, Tom, bring in a question.
God.
Yeah, Tom.
A good one.
Wow. Because there's no bad questions, Steve's. Goodness.
I mean, they're all great questions, everyone.
Nice. Good,
I'm going
good smooth.
to ask a question from last week.
Do it.
And I'm going to ask question Gamer Fuji.
Hey.
Asked. I don't remember if something similar was asked before, but what was a piece of media you were super hyped for that ended up horribly disappointing you once you experienced it?
Got it.
Okay, Steve, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Go you.
The film remake of Miami Vice.
Oh, Michael Mann.
I was so hyped up for it. I bought Miami Vice, the TV series, on DVD, the first season. I was like ready, and I got to it, and there are 45 really great minutes in this 2.5-hour movie.
Oh,
Like, it was not what I thought it was going to be. It was a very drawn out drama. Maybe I'll watch it again, and maybe it's better over time, but it just felt really slow. And I loved the characters. I loved Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell as the guys who were playing. I loved the whole cast. I thought everyone was great. It just felt like it took a very long time to get to the point of what it was trying to tell. Like the trailers all made it like, all right, Bad Boys 2, but more dramatic, less comedy. I'm like, okay, gritty action. Just a lot of slow drama that ended up showing cool, exciting, gritty action, but it just took forever to get to that point. And I was so let down. But the cover of the song, the cover of the In the Air Tonight was a fantastic cover. That worked out well.
Yeah, I remember that. That was
by Nonpoint.
I remember that theme.
Yep.
Kaylin, Josh?
I've got one that kind of turned around and then went back. Super hyped. I was super hyped about Fallout 76 when it was launched or when it was announced. Super hyped. And then I played it And I remember the first time I played it with Corey. Shout out to our other host. Remember when he was a host? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm wearing the beanie for him. I'm wearing the beanie.
Yeah.
I love you, Corey. He's probably lurking. No,
Probably.
we played Fallout 76 for the first time, and we streamed it, and then I remember like kind of just being on the phone with him afterwards and just being like, so that happened. It was just really, really disappointing. And then like a couple of years later, they updated it, and people were hyped about it. They were like, oh man, this new update is great. And it was. Past tense. It was. And then it's just recycled content, and it's just like, what's new? Things look cool. Oh no, we're just going to release the same skins over and over again. Or, hey, remember that thing? Oh, you do? Buy it anyway. Like, it's just like,
Yikes.
It got to a point where I was just like, I haven't played Fallout in probably 6 months, maybe more. And I played it every day that's how I met one of my best gaming buds. And now we were playing Sea of Thieves and Dying Light 2. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, but Fallout 76 has just been a huge like roller coaster of letdown, excitement, letdown.
Caitlin.
I don't know. I can't, which I know is not the real answer, that I just like, I can't remember something that I got that hyped for and then it was not good.
I think the world has a way of teaching us to not get overhyped about things.
Yeah.
Anthem. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll go with mine. So if you have some more time, Doctor Strange is probably the most recent
Really?
one. I just felt like there was so much promise of like, like, hey, like a brand new origin story for a new hero during this phase 3. And I was like, okay, this could be kind of cool and stuff like that. And there was just a lot of like hype that I was like, oh, the visuals and all that stuff. I was like, it's the same effect over and over again, though. And there was just like, I was watching it, and I think I watched it like on Halloween weekend or something like that. Because I remember, I think I was dressed up for sure. I think I was in a costume or something. And I was like, "This is so stupid and lame." And we're gonna go watch or go like hang out afterwards or something like that. But I remember watching it, and I was just like, okay. And then I remember, and this is the thing. That's why I make fun of all the press ever for any Marvel movie ever now, because they always say best Marvel movie since Iron Man 1. I'm like, shut up. It's like the same thing with the Batman. Best Batman since The Dark. Shut up. Jesus. Like you are anti-hyping it every time I hear that now, because it's just like, can't it just be good? Can't it just be good by itself? Does it have to be compared to something else?
This is not how this works.
Has to be compared.
And so I watched it and I was just like, and I'm not gonna just yuck everyone's yum on that, but I was pretty hyped for it because I was like, oh, magic! Like now we're getting to magic. We had technology, we had superpowered beings, we went space, and now we have magic. And magic is a really cool thing in the realm of fantasy and superheroes, because it's like it's the invariable, right? Technology is like, oh well, how far can we go into this theoretical technology, and then how far does the power of just immortal gods go? It's like, well, now we have magic where it can alter reality and change our perspectives. And then it's like, but now if you just watch a movie and put a kaleidoscope in it, you're just watching the same movie. And so I'm like, okay.
Real quick. There is nothing lame about dressing up. I'm just saying. Continue, Caitlin. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It was
So I realized that this is it's not like a movie, it's like an episode of something, and they kind of have episodes within an episode a little bit. But I would say that the one that I was like the most let down by was this episode called The Festival of Friendship.
It all comes back to this.
That was the one. I will say that I've never been so excited. Like I remember posting this GIF of this duck that's like dancing, where I was like, yes, oh, it's the Festival of Friendship. I was like, oh, this is gonna be everything I ever wanted. And then I was so betrayed. I was literally depressed the rest of that night.
Maybe your feelings betrayed you.
For you two, for Josh and Tom, there was a great comedy friendship going on between Chris
It's
Jericho
not a comedy.
and Kevin
first of all.
Owens. They were
It's
they
not
were funny.
comedy.
They were funny.
They were a great duo,
They
is
were
what
a
you
great
mean
duo.
to say.
You're right. They were a great duo.
Yeah.
The crowd enjoyed them. And Jericho had this list where when he was very upset with someone, he'd say, you
Yeah.
know what? You just made the list. And it became a catchphrase that every time he said it, everyone cheered and laughed and you add your name to the list of people he's not happy with. Kevin Owens got him a new list for the Festival of Friendship. And it's nice and shiny. He looks at it and says, and then he opens it and he's like, why is my name on here? And Kevin's face is looking at him, just anger.
Sorry.
And he just attacks Jericho and destroys the friendship. But when he said that, why is my name on here? The crowd, you could hear, like just loud. Everyone was broken
The
by
long
this
con.
happening. Yep. It was the
wish-
crowd was broken.
I wish that I did any kind of reaction videos at that time in my life, because my heart was just broken.
They were so good together.
Broken.
Oh.
I was like, you had something great.
Yeah. It just ruined it.
You could have been.
Yeah.
You could have been great.
Mhm.
Well, that.
I feel that. I feel that, Caitlin.
On that
Yeah.
note, on that disappointing note,
No, it's okay. They've moved on.
that is this week's
They've
update.
done well.
Everybody at home, thank you so much for listening wherever you are. We are everywhere podcasts can be heard. So wherever you're at, take a moment to rate, review, and then there's like a little box, and it has
What
like
is that?
it has an arrow that's for sharing. Share it with
Oh.
your friends and family. Share it everywhere. Every social media you can, share it. If you're watching a video, whether you're on Twitch, hello there. Hi, chat. Or if you're on YouTube, all of our episodes go to video. Even our other show, Nerd on the Podcast, all of those episodes are video. We're all over the social medias. Check out our website, nerdon.tv. It has all of the information, all of our episodes, all of that stuff. And do check out that Nerd On Nation. It does allow us to really, I say this in every episode because it's that important. It allows us to just keep being better and keep just upping our content and continue doing this. Really, let's be real here.
And I just want to say that
Here it comes.
if you were to leave like a review
Oh,
on like Apple Podcasts, or just leave like a comment on the YouTube videos or something,
Just a little.
I feel like it would. Well, I know what it feels like when that happens. It's like if the Festival of Friendship actually went the way that I wanted it to, and they like held hands and watched Netflix together and shared a bowl of popcorn, and you were like, that was everything I wanted. And then the lights dimmed, and then they moved on to the next match. Like
Preach.
that's what it feels like to get a review.
wow. Just imagining it
From you
just makes
all.
me feel like really good.
Right? Like
She's
you're
right.
relieved, and
Yeah,
you're
she's
like,
right.
"Ah, you're gonna see them together more.
Yeah.
But what
Chris and Kevin.
what if Caitlin, we went back in time and I put your name on the list?
I would fight you to the death. Anyway, thank you so much.
The change that occurred right there.
I will fight you. So you see how good reviews are. Please leave them.
Yeah,
They are important
they're good.
because some people make decisions on whether to listen to something or watch something based on those.
That's true.
It is very true. I found out recently. But that's it. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Have a wonderful week. You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.
Nerd on.
Ending broadcast.